Hey, welcome back. Session 6.2. We're working on. We have completed our 3 posters. Congratulations! I think if you didn't get it in, get it in. For those of you who did, thank you very much. They've been graded. Move on. Last project, the brochure, which is a bigger project. You know, it's 8 panels. You got to think about a lot more about typography, stuff like that. I reviewed in session 6.1 about creating your template, whether it's an InDesign or it's an Illustrator. I went over 2 variants for each one, tricks and tips in there, how to do it, how to just follow along, and see what I did. That's what this is about. And then so what for the brochure, when I say that's what this is about, like me teaching you, it's like watch it and follow along. Like I watch videos all the time of people doing designs. And guess what? I see a lot of repeat. What I do, they do. So it makes me think that I'm right on par with what I should be teaching you all and how to do it and what designers do. So the big one here is final sketches and computer rough drafts. Final sketches. Take that one sketch that you really like and just refine it. Maybe not, you don't have to maybe do it as much detail, but maybe you're thinking about like, oh, when I'm looking at this again, I'm going to move this. I'm going to change this. And you do it now. And you do it in pencil because you know why? It is much, much quicker than doing it on the computer. Because you're thinking, oh, I got to build this design. I got to build it. I got to build it. That's okay. Get your sketches like to a complete level where you could show somebody, show it to your mom, show it to your dad, show it to your partner, show it to your best friend, and be like, do you understand what this means when I show you this? Because that's what you're going to show a client. And if your best friend, your partner, your whatever they may be, can't, and they're like, I don't get what this is, well, you might have to like do a little bit better. Again, a lot of this is for you and the way you work. Now, the next thing you got to do is you got to build your layout, your brochure layout. Well, I say InDesign here. I'm going to say it can be either. Yeah, I'm going to switch that. I'll switch it to, it can be either InDesign or Illustrator. And somebody asked, and I said you could do either one. I know, yeah, just whatever you're most comfortable, but don't always shy away from InDesign. Everybody shies away. People, it's the number one. It's number 2. Illustrator, InDesign, Photoshop is what they ask if you know how to learn, and they say it in order. So don't ever just be like, I'm not really good at InDesign. That's why half of your projects are done in InDesign. I'll switch that. Oh, here, I can exit this card. Let's just do it right now while I have you. And that way I won't forget. And it shouldn't throw anybody off. Actually, I'll give you props. If you're like, I already started it in InDesign, go for it. Do it. You'll be a better designer in the end. So do that thing, too, where you bring in your sketch and you place it behind what you're designing. Everybody that I ever watch like does that. Like it's just a norm. Like you sketch it, you bring it in, you put it back there, and you work on top of it. Whether it's a logo or a poster or whatever, like you use your roughs as the map to design. So don't not do that. Build out your InDesign, Illustrator layout, get it perfect, and then first panel, background, bring that sketch in and line it up. And you can move it around like, oh, it doesn't quite match. So then that's where you can stretch and be like, okay, I'll get it to fit, and and I can work from here, and I know where, and I'm just placing things. 100%, I tell you this. I see it every semester, every time I teach these courses. You can tell the people who placed on top, and I can tell the people who didn't. The people who didn't, their designs look really stiff. And I look at like the drawing compared to the InDesign or Illustrator file. I'm like, why does it look so stiff and rough? It's because you tightened everything up too soon instead of just taking that nice sketch and just putting it behind and be like, here's a picture, here's a picture, and you start lining them up. There's a far more freedom and beauty that can come from that in a design. So don't deny yourself like, oh, I hate the sketch part. Yeah, but you know what? You got to show them something. And if you want to waste time and money, you can do it once in Illustrator, InDesign, and then just hear all the changes you have to make, and you're gonna be like, oh God, is it gonna take me forever? Rather than just being like, oh, I can just sketch it. I can just roughly draw changes. So there's a reason why we do it this way. And like I said, you watch these videos of these pro illustrators or pro designers, and they're like, yeah, do a sketch, and then you bring it in, and then you take a picture with your iPhone, use their iPad, iPhone, phone. You just take a picture with your phone and then import it in. It's something you should know how to do. So I want to see the final sketches, like updated sketches, like just like a refinement. It's just drawing over what you have to make sure, like, yeah, oh, you know what, I'm going to change that. I draw over sometimes 5 times before I get to it. And I do it digitally. Personally, I do it digitally. I've switched within the last 2 years. It hasn't been forever. Like, oh, he knows. I'm still learning. And I just make a new layer, turn the old layer down, and I go back, turn it down so it's like tracing paper, and then I go again. And I do that again. And I do that again. And then I'm like, okay, at this point, I'm like, then I get to a point where I'm like, there's some of these details that I need to get perfect, and I can only do it if I'm doing it in a computer. Those of you in my other course for Brandon Media, not other, I have 4 other. The Brandon Media, we'll see that happen today. I'm going to do I have a rough to final. I'm working on it, so you'll see that. So do this. So I went over the layouts for 6.1. Today, I'm going to do the InDesign. I'm going to do the postmodern design. I'm just going to show you what I would do. And I barely practice. I practiced for 10 minutes. I wanted to double check a couple of things, and I'm going to let some things loose. And you're going to see the way I use all 3 programs together. I'm going to use a little Photoshop. I'm going to use a little InDesign, little Illustrator, and I'm going to use InDesign as a layout. So without further ado, I'm checking my time, and I will give myself like 45 minutes of your time, and I'll see how far I get. But again, this is off the cuff, and hopefully it'll show you just that range. Like you're not just stuck in one area when you design. You have to use them all. And you'd be surprised at what you can get done when you do that. So without further ado, let's get to it. I'm going to open up InDesign, and I'm going to create my InDesign document, InDesign. I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to go to print. Inches. Remember, I preset mine. If you don't remember, mine always goes to inches and not picas anymore. I taught you all how to do that a while back. My width is 7 by 5. It's landscape, of course. I have no facing pages. I'm going to start pages as 1. I'm going to set my margins at 0.25. Hit a tab, bleed. I'm going to set it at 0.25, tab. There it is. I'm not going to worry about slug, and I'm going to hit create. And then in my layers, I got my 1 layer, and I can just call this guides or just like leave it, but I am going to call it guides. That way I know that I have that, and then I can add more guides if I need to. Oh, my practice. I practiced on a portrait size, and that's going to really throw me off. Split this in half, 2.5, 3.5. And now I know, right? I have my margin, I have my bleed. I always make sure anything that touches this artboard touches that edge. Actually needs to go all the way to this edge. Any line, any image, any solid color. If it goes here, it actually goes here. Remember that. All right, now I'm going to do one. Once I get this one in, this will be title. Plus images plus paragraph plus Title, image, paragraph, background. Now I'm doing postmodern. I did my research. I'll show you. You know, I looked at pictures, found some stuff. I went and found some images. You know, so just did this kind of stuff, image searches. I got more into this stuff, this photo collage stuff. I thought that was fun. You know, this is all I'm working with. Did something like this. There we go. What else? I got an essay on postmodernism to get my text. More international poster gallery. Why not? They're going to have good stuff. We all know this one. This is in the book. It's like here's another one. Cool. And it's all like, that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at all this weird, like, this is pretty cool. Knowing that I have a restricted time frame, I can't do, you know, crazy. But I'm looking at this one and I was like, I can try this. So what I did is I went online and fortunately I have Adobe Adobe Stock with my subscription, with my Adobe subscription. And I dug around and I found this image. I just like literally, I don't know why this one came up. I might have typed in like postmodern design, and this something like this came up and I was like, oh, that's a great like shitty background. Like, love it. So I have that. Then I got this image into which I wrote like punk rock. Oh boy, are there some really 80s punk rock? And I'm like, there's some really shitty photos out there in stock photos. Like wanted one like winking in it. That was even worse. But I was like, okay, this will work. This will work. I can extend backgrounds. I can frame it. You know, it's long, and then I can do some weird stuff to it. And let's jump on in and start the design. So I'm going to put in 2 backgrounds. And I just like to zoom out. So for me, I like to zoom out. I'm going to lock everything out. I'm just going to work on the backgrounds for right now. So I'm going to go to File, Place. My little guy comes up. I save these 2. 126. And I'm going to place that one first, place. Okay. And I'm going to pop it in. And then I'm going to grab the free transform tool. I'm going to hold down shift and scale it. As you can see, I'm holding down shift still. Let go of shift, move it, hold down shift again. Always watch down there. You can see that some of my key commands happen. But I'm just using the free transform tool. Now I stop. It's bigger than I need. That's great. I can make it this big if I want. Like, you crop it however, but everything is beyond the artboard. You know, if I want more green, I move it here. I want more black, I move it over there. You know, like, so I have movement. I'm actually going to make a second background. All right. Now I'm going to place in the punk woman place. Same thing again. I saved it. I changed it to grayscale previous to meeting you all. So I just need the grayscale. All right. And I'm going to place that in. I'm going to go to free transform. I'm still on it. I'm going to hold down shift, make it smaller. And I'm just going to kind of now, I want it down because I want to do the hair, but I want enough like going off, and then I can put like my title, my body copy in like 5 images. Like, it kind of creates, so this is my negative space and I'm going to use as the design. Now I'm going to undo that because I just stupidly hit it. All right. Now, this is where I start playing. So the first thing I did was I grab this image, and under opacity, it's the same thing as like Illustrator, and it has all of these items that you can go through, and you can start to go down and be like, well, what do these work? Multiply worked, hard light worked. No. Darken, not so much. Lighten, difference. Now I'm telling you, I came across this one. We're coming back to this. I was like, oh my God, I kind of like this. This is like ultra postmodern. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to design in regular postmodern, and then in the end, switch it to ultra postmodern. So I just mentally note difference. Let's see, an exclusion might work too. Hue. I'm just going through them all. This is what I do. There's no reason. Why not? What else are you doing? Multiply. So I'm going to start on multiply. Now, I'm going to open up my reference, right? We always check our references. And I'm referencing this. And so I'm like, okay, 2 eyes, the lips, maybe like a come up, like it's kind of a little crazy, but I'm always going to reference this. Now, what I'm looking at is like, when I started, I was like, oh, it's really square. But I was like, oh, they only have 1 square. The rest look like ripped paper. And I was like, but I'm in design. And then I thought, no, you're in every design. You can use whatever programs you want. So I'm in InDesign, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new background, and I'm going to call it graphics. All right. And then I'm going to go to Illustrator. I'm going to go to new file, print, letter. I got to update this crap. Letter, inches, great. Actually, I'll make sure it's just landscape. Now, this is a throwaway file. So what I'm calling this is a throwaway file. I'm just putting this in to create something else. And now I'm going to place my image. So I'm going to go open cloud document. I'm going to go to 126. Student examples, place here, place. Now, the reason I'm placing this in is I want to make, and I'm going to hold down shift. I should hold down shift. I'm going to use my keyboard, my special. And I just need it centered. I just need that. Now I'm going to go in, and because I have these rad tools that at my disposal. I'm going to go in, and I'm going to take my blob brush, and I'm going to double click on my blob brush because I work with it enough. And I'm going to turn down, usually I have my smoothing on it cranked. I'm going to turn it down to super accurate, so it keeps all my craggy stuff. And then I'm just going to be like this. You know, like, and I don't like what I just did there. So I'm going to undo, and I'm going to do like straighter lines. Now I completed it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in really close. I'm going to take my direct select, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to unclick on it. I'm going to click on one point, and I'm going to hit delete, delete. So then that becomes a shape. And then I'm going to do like the eyes. Then I'm just going to do the same thing. But I want it to like, oh, I got to zoom out. So, all right, not zoom out. I need to just move over. I kind of want it to go like to here. So maybe I should start back there. But let's go straight. Again, some of this, when we're working together, me and you, sorry when I get silent there, I'm going a little bit for speed simply because I want you to practice. Sometimes if we get too caught up, we lose that ideal of practice. Now, maybe like, I know like I want the hair. So like, right? I'm just like making a weird block, and then like maybe the other one I can add. I don't want it. I want to make sure that like in the end they don't touch. So I can just move this one forward, and then zoom in on this one. Again, I'm going to do that. Find the point. Delete, delete. Oh, I wasn't on the point. So when that happens, I was actually not on the point. So then I just go to undo. And then delete. Why is it? Oh, am I not completed? Let's zoom out. Maybe it's not shut. There. So that was the culprit. So I wasn't shut. So all I have to do is select that, go back to the brush, and then just fill that in. Now, when I do this and I hit delete, delete, I have that shape. All right. So I didn't mean to do that. Cancel that. Fit the screen. Now, I just have to grab these 3 parts and copy. And I'm going to go back to InDesign. Oh, it doesn't look. Not happy with that. So let's switch over to InDesign now. And then I'm on this graphics, and all I have to do is paste all these. Now those just came in from Illustrator, and then I can ungroup. And then, like for the hair, I'm going to go to fill. I'm going to yellow, right? I'm going to go opacity. I'm going to go to from normal. Let's try multiply. You know, screen, overlay. I like that. Then we got the eyes. Let's do red, right? Red. And then I'm going to go to opacity, and I'm going to do the same thing. Multiply. I'm going to move it down. Zoom in. But I'm, you know, like, I'm just not going to do the same one for everyone, maybe. Screen doesn't work. Overlay, I don't like that one. Just trying out different ones. Let's do color burn. Let's do the lips. Now this one I think I want smaller. So I'm going to go to, you know, just free transform. Hold down shift. And then this one I want pink, magenta. And then I'm going to do opacity. Now, this is what I want. So like, maybe I can just be like, for this project, for here, like, let's pull this out. I think I want this down. Like, when I say I want this down, like, I'm going to grab this whole upper section and I want it off the board. So it's like creating that weird, and I hate that. I hate this little loopy I did. But like, look, you can go in. I'm in InDesign. You go all the way. Use the pen tool. You know, select it. I'm going to direct select so I can see my nodes. And I'm just going to minus those nodes. So every time it turns to a minus, I just clicked. And I just got rid of that little bit. Now I can do one more thing. Maybe I want the contrast boosted on the image of the woman. So I'm going to go back to Photoshop. I can open this And if I turn these off, that's the original. So I just did a layer adjustment to that, only that layer. So if I just go to that and I hit File, Save, now watch, it's not going to work, but so that's it. So I hit OK. So I have to update, which is not a big deal because I know like I have it. So this is the girl, and I go to my links, and I should be able to just double click. This is one I always do wrong. Relink. And sometimes I have to really sit down sometime and be like, how does it accurately replace the images? Because sometimes when you use the Creative Cloud, it is not happy. So link placed. Yeah, hit OK. So like, do I like that better? Here's what I want. I think I want it 50% of that. Like, not as extreme as I had it, but this is like, I went too far one way and then too far the other. So I'm going to bring it back in Photoshop, which is easy as just like turning this on and then going to here. And then I can just like go to here. You know, that's all I need to do then. And then File, Save. File, Save. And if you keep all those open, you're just going back and forth. And then I go here, I double click on the one, then I'm going to right click, relink, cloud documents. I think eventually it tells you like you can relink the file, but I'm faster. Don't show again. All right, I'm cool with that. Now, to do the other one where I was like, blew my mind was where should I do it? If I do difference. Wait, what just happened there? Why did it go orange on me? Normal. I want to see that. Oh, okay. So nothing happens. So I'm just going to go back to normal. Oh, wait. Was I not clicked on the image? All right. Let's click on this one. Let's try this. And do I know what I'm doing? No. Oh, I lose those colors. They just show up there. Oh, that's disappointing. Not much difference between darken and multiply. I really wanted this to work. I wanted these colors to pop more and not just be black. They're like too close to like what it is. Oh, what if I just go try to change these? So yeah, so you know, I just tried all different stuff. Oh. That's crazy and unexpected. I'm going to keep it. I didn't know that was going to happen. So now I'm going to go from the bottom. And that's what I wanted. So I bet you if I do this one, the color, I kind of like the orange now. So difference, let's try color. I like difference because it reverses the negative just for the eyes. And that's like kind of like weird and creepy. Like just the eyes are normal and everything else is a negative. Let's play with this. I like that it's softer there. It's just about playing around. Experimentation. What happened? See, there's that, but I don't want those two solids. So what happens is it's reversing the difference. That's okay. Nothing happens. Let's see what color does. The color and hue, no difference. Final one, luminosity. All right. So I can just do hue. I'll keep it at hue. And then as everybody does, then you want to do your preview and see what it looks like with nothing selected. Now I don't know if I like the difference. Did it seem muddy? It seemed like it muddied it up. I don't know what to do. Now I kind of like the screen better. I wish more came through. I'm just trying to think. Like, this is like, that's. And again, this is all in InDesign. Like, I want the lips to pop. I think I want this. I want the lips to pop, and I think this is too dark. So I'm going to lighten the photo, and I'm going to adjust the lips. Let's get those lips. So I want it like crazy bright. Yeah, I want that. Now I like the reversed eyes. I'm fine with like this weird reversal here. And I'm going to go back to the Photoshop image. And I'm going to put a white gradient. White to nothing. And I'm just going to shift it over. Need more. And if I was real, you can go in, layer mask, reveal all, and I'm just gonna go into the brush, but a big fatty, not like a drawing brush. Soft round, go up. Oh, I have no reference on my pixel size when I work with you guys because I use a giant. And I'm just gonna make sure that like none of the white interferes with the contrast of her. Oh, see those lines? Why is it doing that? Oh, flow, I want flow at 100. I'm going to do it even more janky. And I edit, fill. I'm on that mask, and I'm going to fill it black. See, and then I can just go in now and just do a real quick, like, clean that up. And it doesn't, this is like that punk rock aesthetic. I'm not looking for like absolute perfection here. So we can go a little bit crazy. Not crazy, but let's give my buddy the polygon. Again, all I'm doing is re-emphasizing I'm filling this back area with black. So any of that gradient is gone. And I don't care up there, that's off the page. But you can see, and then now, hopefully, file, save, the pink of the background will pop through more. Links, relink. Let's find it again. That's what I'm talking about. All right, let's get it some type, and I got 14 minutes left with you guys. That's just playing around. So I wanted to show you like all the different ways I did it. Like I use Photoshop, I use Illustrator, I use, you know, all these different things. I could make these tears better, but you know what? Like we're going to like learning quickly. What can I do? What's like, I can do this, knowing that later on I can make it better. It's about trying new things, trying new possibilities with this. So I had a font. So I think students, if you're at home, all of you are at home, get the Adobe fonts as well. Use them. I was going through these, came across this one I thought I would like, and now that I see it, I don't know if I do like it. No, you know what? Because I was afraid. I want just this middle one. Like I don't want any of the fancy crap on it. So let's go to Add Family. It's called Bassett. And then I open this. Sometimes it takes a bit. I have too many. There, Bassett, and then install family. Got it. And then the title is Postmodern Design. I'm just copying it from someplace else. InDesign. Now I'm going to go to layers. And I'm going to go to title. I'll move title up. I'm going to get out of the preview mode to go to normal so I can see my guides and my stuff. And I want it here. And I'm going to pull this. And I'm still, why do I put those markers? Like I might as well just make my text box to that guide. And then I'm going to paste in. And then I'm going to highlight that. And then I'm going to go here. And I'm going to go Bassett. And I want it, this one 6. Nope. Well, let's make it bigger and then I'll find out what I want. And I can tell right now, because of this font, I do want it 2 lines. So it allows me to go really big. the leading has to come down, but now I can try 1. Oh, I just wanted 1. Huh. All right. So now let's over here, the leading, the space in between the line. This can be like almost touching. And then I want the text. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce the size of my text box. Make sure that I don't get any overset. Nothing's missing. I can't go down, right? There's a weird thing with the type that it has to have that space at the top. But now I can move that up to my guide, right? So the top of my text is with that guide. If I go to the free transform tool now, and I have this type set the way I want, then I can just simply pull that, and it keeps my leading, it keeps all my stuff the same. And I don't have to dink around. And then I'm just going to go to my arrow keys, and I'm going to arrow up. And there are 2 taps up. I got postmodern design. Now here's the weird part. Like, should I go crazier? What if they overlapped? Or here's another one. I just thought of this. Let's copy paste. Let's have it on the right setting. So I want to copy paste. This is why title typography is different than everything else. I'm going to delete this. And then I'm going to delete this. Because I think what I want is it offset. See how I want that D? I want these letters. Look at that. Look at what I'm doing. So this is why. This is why sometimes I'm like, oh, just do it by hand. Why do it by hand? Because then you can do cool stuff. Like, I'm not relying on the computer. Now, right there, this letter, I want it moved over. So I'm going to do tracking and kerning, which is this. And you can just, if I go to 10, oh, I have to have the letter selected. If I go to 10, it's moving the wrong letter. So I want the E. Perfect. I don't always know which one I need to do. I think I want it down. I don't like it. I think I want that little gap. And then I could go back out. And then I'm past the margin. So I'm going to grab these both. And I'm going to move them in. And I can go past that. Or if I'm like really strict with myself, I'm like, I don't want to go past that. Just grab that free transform tool. And then just reduce the size. I can grab both at once and reduce my size. And now I'm in with the there and there. That's looking good. Now what if it was white or a crazy ass color? This is the only part. Like, sometimes I don't enjoy. Oh, black and white. Oh, now I just thought of something. So I'm going to take this title. I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to put title on top. I want title copy in the bottom. And then I'm going to make this black. And then I'm going to make this white. All right, and it's behind it. And I'm going to grab my arrow, and I'm going to use my arrow keys. I'm going to do that. Now, that's great bad. All right. Then it's just adding the images. So I think I'm just gonna, for me, and you guys don't have to see that part. The images would be at the bottom. I'd have 5 images. and then my body copy. So just I'll rough it in so you guys don't have to watch it so much. But so the paragraph of information is going to go here. I want to fill. And of course, I don't want to use whatever this is. I want to use like, I don't want to use this. I sure don't want to use that. Nope. What are the condensed? Oh, it's got a strike through it. Huh. All right. Can't use that. Or did I hit something? Oh, unless I hit something. Oh, hit something that added the strike through. I was like, I don't want to strike through. And then like, so that could be good. We'll play with the, I'd play with the type size once I got it. And then the images would be simply, 5 rectangles. Let's just fill it right now with cyan so I know. And like, this is where I'd place my images. I don't want them up to her chin now. I want to below her chin. How close do these have to be then? Go ahead and do something like this. So I'm like these. And mind you, if I put in those images and they don't turn out right, I want to make sure my spacing is distributed correctly. Actually, you know what I'm going to do is I want those. No, I do want this offset. I do want that. And I'm willing to do this. I'm watching this right here. And then 2, 3, 4. I know I'm going to distribute my spacing. And then up here, if I line up this one, if I put that there, then I can do my paragraph of text. And again, I might type be smaller, and it would fill more. So, I'd even go to 9. Crap. I got to fix some of that, right? How do I get around this black blob? Watch this. Oh, it's not enough. All right. I got to fix that. So I'm going to fix the Photoshop file. I was kind of hoping something like that would work. I was hoping I could get one where it reverses it over the black. Like it made it white over the black. But I'm not seeing that come up. So I'll keep it on multiply. So first off, I will make my text box go around that. And for me, I don't use that like go around because I can't control it. So I'm just going to add a point there. I'm going to add a point here. I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to grab this point, and I bring it in. Oh, my second point didn't attach. I'll undo. Let's get that other point. There we go. Then I can do this. Have it go around that image. And I know my spacing is perfect, right? That's why I taught you got in the last round. And then I just have to clean up this, which just means I go to Photoshop. I open my image, which I can just go home, click on this. It's just this. It's a craggly background, right? I'm just gonna, I don't want the healing pad. I'm just gonna do clone stamp. Option. Why are my brushes so small? 22 point. Just fill that in. Look, nobody wiser. File, save. We go here. That's background 1. Click on it. Go to links. Right click on it. Relink. Open Cloud Documents. $126. Student example work. Do this. Place. There you go. Now you can read my text for the most part. It's a little hard to read, but there you go. Using all the programs. Oh, here, I'll go into like the preview mode for the last, there's my postmodern design for the most part. Yeah, I'd have more text, make the text smaller. I could probably bring the text to like maybe flow a little different, but I'm fine with it stopping here, or I'll have it stop with the edge of this image. So there are things that I'll line up later if I continue to work on this. And there we go. So I hope you found some cool tricks and tips. I hope this gets you into the mode of like use every program at your fingertips. It's not just one program. Again, I highly stress InDesign is just as important as Illustrator when you are a graphic designer, especially in the world, in the business world. Like you got to be able to pop back and forth. So know them both equally as well. And a lot of it's just fun experimentation. So make sure you have some fun as well. All right. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, you know where to reach me, how to reach out to me. Come on in and work with me Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 until 4. I'm here. Great computers. Some of this stuff I did because I could draw on my screen. You should try it too. That's it for me. All right. Take care. And I'll see you on the discussion boards if I don't see you in person Tuesdays and Thursdays. All right. Bye-bye.